Live from the Peterson Event Center on the campus of the great University of Pittsburgh inside Pitt Studios, it's the Pat Narduzzi Show. I'm Larry Richert with Panthers head football coach Pat Narduzzi as the Panthers get ready to engage in their second part of the season after their only open week. Coach, good to see you. It's been 2 weeks. I hope you were able to rest and become re-energized.
Woo! I don't know about resting. There's no rest for the weary, but we've had a good week. Our kids definitely have rested. Coaches got a little bit of rest, but we had a lot of work to do. In that open week. But again, most importantly, our kids were able to get time away from us, time to heal their bodies, which was a long 7 game stretch for our kids, as long as anybody had in the country. And our kids play hard. They play with effort. They're tough. And when you play with the intensity that we play with, you're going to need a break, and it was at a well-needed time.
Yeah, when you saw that schedule with all ACC, removing the divisions, it's a long road. And you face Florida State. Pitt hasn't traveled to Florida State. I didn't realize it's been 38 years. And the Seminoles were the Panthers' very first opponent after joining the ACC at Heinz Field. So it should be a lot of fun to go down there. Have you ever coached at the Swamp?
I've never been there. Is that what they call it, the Swamp, huh?
I think so.
No, I thought that was Florida.
Florida. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's Tallahassee. It's all. I don't
swampy
know.
There too, right?
There could be.
Yeah.
There could be some alligators and the Swamp. So I don't know. It's Stoke Stadium. I know that much, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a great atmosphere. I think about 20,000 fans will be there. I think they're allowed 25%. I guess of a crowd, and their band will be there. It'll probably be the loudest game we've been at this year.
So after you go through 7 straight games and you get this time to kind of review and then get ready to move on, what did you evaluate that your team can do, and what have you done to put yourself in a position to go down there and win a game?
The rest and reevaluate was what that open week was for. But it was a lot of going back, looking at tape of what we've done during the year. What are we doing well? What do we need to improve on? Looking at the details, and really, in the open week when we did have 2 practices, went back to fundamentals and just trying to get some of our fundamentals cleaned up and what we need to do to finish the season off in this 4-game final.
And you had an opportunity in that process to give the kids the break. What was their last 2 weeks like?
I'm not sure. We practiced last Wednesday and Thursday. We came in and watched the tape on last Tuesday just to kind of, finish that chapter. And, again, gave them time away. They had last Saturday off as well. So Friday, they got 3 lifts in during the week, which was really good for them, just to get their body back and feeling strong. And I think we still are a strong football team. I don't think we've lost much strength. There's some PRs going down in the weight room and really a lot of recovery there. But gave them Saturday off, so hopefully they behaved. They have all season, so we've been COVID-free almost the entire season now. So we got to keep that up as we get in this final stretch.
Some people might wonder, Coach, what do you guys do all day if you're in the office that early? What are you looking at? What are you working on day in and day out?
Yeah, it's a little bit of recruiting tape, but again, mainly focused on what we did. We have self-scouts, so we're looking at pieces of paper. What are the tendencies? What are we doing here and there? What can we do better? And then watching what we're doing and what do we do well. And I think that's the main thing. And then obviously getting on our Florida State tape and developing a great game plan to bring down to Tallahassee this weekend.
Well, we're looking forward to get back to football, and we'll talk more about Florida State. And special guest today is left guard Bryce Hargrove, who's excited to be here. Right, Bryce? Yeah, he's all fired up there.
He's got his Chick-fil-A. He's fired up.
He's good. You bribe him with a little Chick-fil-A to come to the show.
Allison did that, which is a great touch. I can't take credit for that.
All right, you're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
We got to be smart. We have to have poise.
Welcome back to the Pat Narduzzi Show. Larry Richert with special guests of coaches He is the left guard, number 71, redshirt senior Bryce Hargrove. Bryce, welcome to your head coach's show.
Glad to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
From Akron, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
Were you a Zip fan growing up?
No, I was never a Zip fan. Never.
We stayed there once because we were visiting Canton, and you had to spread out. We stayed in the Quaker Oats Hotel. Do you ever remember that? Where they? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is it in Canton?
It's near Akron.
Oh, Akron? No, I'm not sure.
It's right near the city, but
Okay.
you're outside the city. You're not like an Akron.
No, I'm inside the city.
Okay.
I'm inside the city.
I just want to make sure. And your school, the same school that former Steeler great James Harrison went to?
Yes, sir. Shout out to James Harrison.
Did you ever meet him?
I met him. I think I met him at a game. My freshman year, he came to a football game, and I met him.
He had that look, didn't he?
Yes,
like
sir.
A real serious look.
He was big, way bigger than me.
I don't know. You're pretty big. What, 6'4", 320?
Yeah, well, he's not bigger than me now, but freshman year of high school, he's a little bit bigger than me.
You wore the short sleeve shirt just to show Coach, you're pumped up, right, Coach?
Yeah, we got the extra workouts and he was talking about this week.
So how did it go for you? I'm sure it was a welcome break from the grind of 7 games and leading up to the start of the season.
Yes, it was a well-needed break, physically and mentally for us. We used it to like get our focus back, and we're ready,
Good to hit the reset button.
Yes, sir. It's great.
And the guys up front, you guys work in tandem. You're so critical to the success of the offense. So what did you work on that you want to improve as you go to Florida State?
We did a lot. We did a lot over the break together. We watched a lot of extra film. We got our lifts in together. Practice. We just working hard to improve on the things we need to improve on.
Who lifts the most? Who's the strongest guy in the front line? Bryce? Is that you?
I mean, strongest guy or lifts the most? See, it's two different things.
Okay, well, talk to me.
I'll take myself over anybody, but everybody's pretty strong. Everybody's pretty strong.
Yeah, that was a big change, Coach, in your weight room over last season. You got a new team in there doing it. Your guys, I'll tell you, they're in good shape, and no matter who you've played, they've been there to the end. So that part's working really well.
We're in good shape. I mean, it's it was a different training session. I don't know if we were where we wanted to be, or if we could ever get to that point with all the COVID going on and being away for so long as we were. But we did the best we could, and Coach Stack and his staff did a great job.
Yeah, we talked to some of the players, Bryce, over the course of this season. As a young man, how did COVID change your attitude, if at all, about how you look at not just football but life in general?
It changed it a lot. Put stuff into perspective for us. I realize we're blessed to be here. We're blessed to play the 7 games we played. A lot of people were at home on the couch. So we were fortunate enough to be there at football, be working out, and then be playing these games.
Yeah, and you see that you can't take a single week for granted, because you see what happens around college football, even at the pro level.
Yes, sir.
So who did you look up to as a player when you were in high school?
Like you said, I was a big-time Steelers fan growing up, just because my aunt, she loved the Steelers. She probably has, every those years they won the Super Bowl, she probably has every single person's jersey, so. And I looked at James Harrison a lot for inspiration, just coming from – we both actually came from the inner city Akron, and then, made the trip out to Coventry every day, to better our lives. And to see him make it out, it pushed me a lot. And
I have a rumor, E.J. Borghetti told me, you really know, the Steelers.
Yeah, I do. The Super Bowl teams, yeah, I do.
Well, until they win another one, you'll learn those names too.
Yeah. Well, I'm big on the Browns right now, Had to go back to my roots.
I'm sorry, did you say?
I had to go back to my roots. I had to.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. I mean, how far is the drive from Akron to Cleveland?
20 minutes.
Yeah, it's basically a suburb.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we got a few questions for you. Casey Garrow, Inside the Bubble, every week asks 10 questions of a player. This week, it's that freshman sensation, Jordan Addison, the wide receiver, but we're going to share a couple of those questions with you. You all right with that?
Yes, sir.
It's good because I'm 20 feet from Bryce, so if I need to move quickly, if we ask him something he doesn't like, I think I could still get out of the door, Coach.
I think he might catch you there.
Yeah, I might catch him. I don't know.
You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network. listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show inside Pitt Studios on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh, Peterson Event Center. Coach's special guest is the big man, number 71 left guard, redshirt senior Bryce Hargrove. Bryce, you like that big man?
Yeah, I do.
You
I
guys
appreciate
are tough,
that.
man.
I appreciate that.
Who's tougher, your offensive line or your defensive line?
I mean, I'll pick us every time.
The Hogs are,
yeah, the Hogs, of course.
The Hogs.
I always pick my guys. It's me and my guys over anybody.
How close are you to the guys you play with up front?
I'll probably say we're best friends. Well, there's us, the twos, the threes. We're a close group.
And you spend a lot of time because this is a whole new world. You can't be running around campus. At least that's what Coach says.
Yeah, I mean, we have spent a lot of time together just because we're in each other's bubble, you know. So we're with each other at the facility, so it's okay to be with each other outside the facility.
Well, I mentioned Casey Garrow inside the bubble, asking 10 questions. Jordan Addison, by the way, is our special guest for our pregame, which starts at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Kickoff is at 4 against Florida State. And what is your pump-up music? She usually asks every player, and it's fun to hear what you guys are tuned into.
See, I listen. I'm from. Well, I mean, I think Ohio is considered the Midwest, so I listen to like a lot of people from like Detroit. So I'm big on Sada Baby. I listen to a rapper called New Jersey Twerk. You might want to tune into him. He's pretty good.
Down.
Yeah, write that
New
down.
Jersey Twerk.
Yeah, tune in.
Sounds like something I can't talk about on the radio.
No, it's TWORK, not.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, there you go. Twerk, like work.
Just checking. Now, we always try to figure out if there's any songs Coach knows or has on his, Apple Music or Spotify.
See, I'm Northeast Ohio guy too, Midwest guy.
Yeah.
So we had that stuff going on.
Yeah, Youngstown. You're a
D.
Youngstown
Yeah.
guy. Did you ever hear of a guy named Smokey Robinson?
Smokey Robinson. I've heard the name.
He's from Detroit.
Oh, okay.
He is responsible as a singer, songwriter, or producer for 5,000 records.
Sheesh.
So I'm give you a little musical assignment because there might be one.
Didn't he live in
song
Pittsburgh?
He lives. He has a house here now. He married a gal from Pittsburgh, and guess what street she grew up in? Oakland, Robinson Street.
Oh, dang.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, right down the street.
Do you know that, Coach?
I didn't know that.
Smokey's still around, and he's a cool human being, and somebody that's battled. If he's been around, he's close to 80, so he's seen it all. That's somebody you need to check out.
Yeah, I'll check him out.
The Smokey Robinson. All right, another question. What do you do outside of football to relax? What do you guys do is it gaming?
Yeah, we play. I mean, since we can't do anything because COVID, we all play like a lot of games. So gaming, yeah, we're heavy on the video games.
What's your favorite game?
What
What are Coach and I missing?
Well, it was 2K, but 2K is low-key terrible. So we've been playing Call of Duty a lot, though.
Call of Duty, very
Yeah.
popular. You've heard of these, Coach?
I've heard of it. Yeah, both of those I've heard of them. I've never played them though. I wouldn't.
What's the last video game you played, Coach?
Oh man,
Pong.
probably
Mario.
Mario, Pong, Atari. Was that Atari back then?
Atari.
The old Atari games. I think the Wii. I think I played some bowling with my kids in Wii, which is maybe 20 years ago.
It's been a long
Remember
time.
the Wii?
Oh yeah.
You remember the Wii?
Yeah, I had a Wii. I was heavy on the Wii. Wii bowling. I
Wii
could probably
bowling.
take him.
Little tennis, boxing.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. The first video game, Bryce, was Pong. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the two little in the ball. Yep.
In the ball.
We're talking ancient history here for sure.
And then Space Invaders now. Space Invaders is pretty good.
I play both of those.
That's pretty good at Space Invaders. They brought back all those retro games. You can get them all in one app.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think heading to Florida? You excited to get back into action after having an open week?
Oh yeah, we're always excited to play, and like I said, we're blessed to even have the opportunity. So some people are still sitting home, so.
How are you going to get the run game going? They're counting on you guys up front.
But we're going to get it going this week. We practice hard. We got a good plan, so we're going to get it going.
All right. Well, it's great to see you. Don't get to see the players. Don't get to see the coaches. It's all on Zoom. For all I know, they don't really exist, but I know you're here, Bryce.
Yes, sir.
Bryce Hargrove, the left guard for your Pittsburgh Panthers. And when we come back, Pat Bostic, former quarterback, will join us. You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network. Welcome back to the Pat Narduzzi Show. Larry Richard with head coach Pat Narduzzi and joined by former Pitt quarterback and associate athletic director of Major Gifts. Pat, good to see you. You're all dressed up today. You had important business.
I'm running for office.
Don't even go there. This is like that. The election right now is like a triple overtime Super Bowl. There are people waiting for every little maneuver.
It was just a joke.
I understand.
Bad joke, bad timing.
Too soon? I guess it was too soon.
The Florida State Seminoles, 2-4, 1-4 in the ACC under their first-year head coach. What's the scouting report? Brought to you by PNC Bank. Make today the day. What we need to know about Florida State, Pat?
I think they found their quarterback. Jordan Travis is a pretty good player. Really, really elusive. I mean, you watch like the Louisville game. Just he had a touchdown on a fumble that he fumbled, an exchange and ran backwards and just, made three guys miss. And he's a young guy, but he's really, really elusive. Gets out of the pocket, extends plays. He's got a good arm. They throw a lot of the RPOs. I think they've played good in streaks this year. You can tell it's year one for their staff. They've had an abnormal offseason. Doesn't look like they really believe in what they're doing yet. They know it, but
every week they get better, though, Pat.
They get better, and they've had an open week.
They run the football, and it's a lot of quarterback runs, and I think we'll see a lot of quarterback runs with Jordan Saturday as well.
A lot of pulling guards, a lot of pulls and counters, and they a lot of man gap scheme stuff.
Yeah, a lot of counter, quarterback counter, a little bit of what we call dart play, where the tackle pulls and almost looks like a draw, to the bubble, and then they'll chuck it deep, and he can throw the ball as well. So they've played four quarterbacks this year,
right?
Larry. So I mean, they really found their guy, their fourth guy. They kind of he gelled. He's tough. He's physical. He plays with a motor. He's not a normal quarterback. There's times where he'll throw the ball or pitch the ball, and then he runs downfield and blocks for guys. I mean, he's a tough dude. He makes their offense tick.
He's an athlete at Louisville. Travis became the first player in FSU history with 4 straight games with a rushing and passing touchdown as a quarterback.
Yeah, he's talented. They got good tailbacks. I think they got 3 or 4 of them.
3 for sure.
They'll motion guys out of the backfield into the backfield, put 2 tailbacks in the game at the same time. They want to run it. Mike Norvell was at Pitt for a year, and obviously had a successful stint at Memphis. And they're a no huddle team, but the 2 tight ends. I mean, they'll run on balanced sets, so it's not a spread. They'll put 4 receivers on the field, but they want to get 2 tight ends in there as well and try to outnumber you.
Why is it that Florida is able to attract a lot of speed? They're a kind of stereotype that Florida players have speed all the time. You hear this.
Well, they're in an area of hotbed of football down south where they're playing, at least in a normal year, playing 12 months out of the year. They're outside running around, and they're talented at all positions. They really are.
And I'm looking at their defense, the 4-2-5. What does their defense present for you? You're trying to get the run game going, and how do you match up?
They're another 4-down, football team that we're going to face. So we've had a few of them in a row. They're big, strong, physical. Both ends are really athletic. We're going to have to get our hands on them all day, and we got to control the line of scrimmage if we want to have success down in Florida.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of their key players on defense. Defensive tackle Marvin Wilson. I'm sure you have little asterisks. How do you go through a team's roster and their starters? You grade each player and try to create matchups, right?
Try to create or find matchups that we it's hard to develop them. But I mean, their defensive end, the Janaris Robinson, is probably the guy that we've got to block the most. I mean, he's athletic. He's going to they'll give him a range to take a two-way go on our offensive tackles. Our offensive tackles have to do a great job of protecting our quarterbacks this weekend.
On film, what has led to Florida State's defensive struggles? Because they let up a ton of points and yards. So what do you see that they're not able to do?
They've had some bust back there, but just adjusting to different offenses and again, I think first year coordinator, not having spring ball. I think that's all been part of their offense and defensive struggles at times. But they're talented, and again, another open weekend for them. So they've tied it together a little bit better every week, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. You got a new coaching staff. Your previous staff got let go. You had a disappointing start to the season, an abnormal offseason. So, obviously it's hard to get things to sink in. And when you have, failures early or adversity early, guys start not believing, maybe questioning what they're doing, trying to make too much happen. Happens everywhere. And that's when things happen. When a guy does something he's not supposed to do or tries to go outside the purview of what the defense is, you get busts in coverage. They struggle with crossing routes, deep crossing routes. Tutu Atwell had a big game against them, so that would seem to bode well for a guy like Jordan Addison to match up on their safeties. But you got to handle their front, and Wilson might be the biggest number 21 I've ever seen in my life. That dude's a load inside, and he hasn't had the year I think people expected, but you still got to respect him. And he will line up at times head up on the center, so he's you got to deal with that.
It's always interesting when you look at matchups, Coach, because you figure if you beat a team and they beat somebody, you kind of, well, how did that happen? And they got pounded by Louisville 48-16 a couple of weeks ago, and of course you guys beat Louisville. And then you look at that for a first-year coach. How do you evaluate the team? Because I know you like to go back sometimes four seasons and get a look at tendencies.
Right. I mean, you got to kind of just put in perspective. We got to worry about ourselves first of all. I think going into this game, we just got to take care of what we do. If you want to sit there and compare, hey, they did this against them, we'll be able to do that. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it's going to be what happens Saturday with this football team. It's going to be what we do, how we execute, how we play football. I think that's what it's going to come down to.
As we get ready for the last four games, you're looking at Saturday's Florida State game, and we're looking at an opportunity for you, Coach. You hit the reset button. You've had the off week. Your guys feel rested and energized. How do you get things going?
Well, we got to go out and play. I mean, I think, we talked all week about, just it's a 4-game season right now, and you're guaranteed 4. I think our kids are excited to go play. You get an opportunity to put a show on, and we've got to play a complete game. We've got to score points on offense. We've got to stop them on defense and play great defense like we're capable of. And we got to do it for 60 minutes. It can't be a 30-minute deal. You're going to have to execute against a great Florida State football team.
Yeah, I mean, I think to Coach's point earlier, it's about you. I mean, that's what the bye week's all about, is to look in the mirror and evaluate your tendencies, self-scout a little bit, and just focus on fundamentals. And that's really what it comes down to. I mean, barring them doing something schematically you don't plan for that you have to adjust to, it comes down to one-on-one matchups and winning those matchups and who wants it more. And I think there's a lot of guys on this team, obviously, that don't want to finish the season the way it's been going. And it's going to be up to them to go out and turn it around. And I think there's no better way to do that than on the road in a cool environment like, down in Florida State. It's you versus everybody. And you got a chance to flip the script a little bit.
Coach, you utilize a lot of young talent at quarterback. So if Kenny Pickett can't go Saturday, are you ready to name who will yet? Or
yeah, Joey Yeld will be the guy.
Okay,
I mean, Joey's going to be our guy. He had a great game against Miami, I thought, for a young guy coming in, and then you look and see, he didn't have a very good game against Miami or Notre Dame, excuse me. So you hit the reset button for him, and they had a little time to prepare, I guess, for who he was and what he did, and again, it was a great Notre Dame defense too. Let's not underestimate who they were and what they did. So was it Joey, or was it the defense, or was it a combination of a lot of different things? So again, we're moving on to the next week, and we got a lot of confidence in Kenny and Davis for that matter.
And Joey, Pat, when we saw him in Miami, we thought, wow, for a young guy getting his first real opportunity on the road, he looked very poised.
Yeah, these are all new experiences for him too. I mean, you think of grad transfers or transfers in college football, they're always older. He's a freshman.
Right. People forgot that.
Yeah,
they think
I forget it all
transfer,
the time.
He's going to be.
Started one game at Arizona State, and it was against USC, and he played well. He played well against Miami, I think. So this is the first time he's put a game on tape where, hey, I didn't play well. And those are the most helpful, honestly, in your development, is when you go out there and you make mistakes. This is the first time. I mean, there were some plays against Miami. I'm sure threw a couple picks against USC when he was at Arizona State where, hey, you're going to learn more from that than you are going out and playing well. And he's had a week now or 10 days to go through that and evaluate that. And he'll make a bigger leap from Notre Dame to Florida State than he did from Miami to Notre Dame as a result of getting a chance to see it. Okay, this is why I didn't play well. I thought he looked rushed at times, missed a couple pretty easy open guys. And then, as things progress, you're unable to run the ball. You get a defense that's just pinning their ears back, coming after you, or conversely just dropping guys into coverage. And it's tough to play winning football when you become one-dimensional and you get down. It's hard.
And then you try to make plays, and he's trying to make a play, and he forced a few balls in there.
I've been there. I mean, it's not easy, and this is it's a marathon, not a sprint, playing that position, and you can't expect a guy, in his second, third start. You're going to have setbacks. It's how you respond, and he's responded well.
Pat Bostic, you'll be on the air with me at 2 o'clock Saturday. That's the pregame, and then Bill Hillgrove joins you for the play-by-play, your color analysis. Kickoff is at 4 o'clock. We'll see you here back at the Pete.
Looking forward to it.
Pat Bostic. Do you remember those old days, Coach, that we talked about when they had the replays of Notre Dame on Sunday mornings? The guy, Lindsey Nelson. We moved to further action in the fourth quarter.
This guy does the best impressions.
I think about quarterback Pat Bostic.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, thanks. And good luck against the Seminoles, Coach.
Thanks, Larry, and hail to Pitt.
And thanks to our executive producer, PJ Kamanchik, Amanda Soleil producing here at the Pete, Cale Berger back in master control, plus his game day contributions. Pitt's Paul Bartow and his team do an outstanding job with all of their productions. We're on the air starting at 2 o'clock Saturday. Kickoff is at 4. It's the University of Pittsburgh against the Florida State Seminoles. I'm Larry Richert. Hail to Pitt. You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.